Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 483 based on novel. So let's start. The 10-day rest period passed quietly. During this period, Xiao Yan groped for the 2 soul fighting skills hidden in the mysterious leaves. The 2 volumes of soul fighting skills are mysterious and unpredictable. They seem to possess some rather complicated powers. Even Xiao Yan can only spy on the skin. One is a volume of soul-attacking fighting skills ranked in the holy rank. As for the other volume, it is more like a defensive fighting skill used to guard against the enemy's soul attack. Shortcomings permeate. However, Xiao Yan was a little negligent after inquiring about the strange figure Shu Yuan that he had in his pocket. In the end, he didn't get any information. He was blown away by this guy. It's a pity, the curse of darkness, etc. It can only be delayed like this. The most urgent task now is the Medicine Pill Society. Let's go. Today is the opening day of the 2nd stage of the Alchemy Pill Guild. I'm afraid the competition in this stage will be very fierce. In the house, Xiao Yan got up and took Zuna to the top of Wanling Mountain together to participate in the assessment of the 2nd level. As for the 2 of Xiaoyi, there seems to be no news yet. It seems that this time, there is a good show to watch. The alchemists who can break through the 1st level and successfully participate in the 2nd level assessment are all talented people. As tyrannical as the Flower God Palace, the Demon World Demon Boy, etc., once they fight each other, whether it is strength or refining skills, they are quite worth seeing. I just don't know who these geniuses will end up under their command. And this 2nd level, how exactly is the competition? In the square, it was still quiet, and there were already countless crowds in the void. Obviously, these guys did not retreat at all because of the assessment of the 1st level. The 2nd level was even the 3rd level of the tiebreaker. I am afraid the number of onlookers will be more terrifying each time. The power of the soul permeated quietly. Xiao Yang pulled Zuna to step on the square with the palm of his hand. His calm smile matched with Zuna's elegant posture. The combination of young heroes and beautiful women aroused the envy of many people. Welcome all pharmacists to participate in the 2nd test of this competition. As we all know, the basic skills of a pharmacist are nothing more than distinguishing medicinal materials, controlling fire and soul power, etc. And the 2nd stage of our Medicine Refining Pill Society, the purpose of the assessment is one of the holy places in our medicine refining church, Ashfire realm. Yarrow Wuchen appeared on the square again, looked at nearly 100 powerful alchemists in the field, and said with a slight smile. They are already the top alchemists in this world, and they are naturally happy to watch countless geniuses emerge from the Alchemy Club. Ashfire realm? Isn't it possible? Is this medicine temple so willing? Yarrow Wuchen's voice just fell, and there were voices of surprise and envy from the crowd of onlookers. What is that? Because Xiao Yang absorbed and understood the 2 soul fighting skills, he knew little about the medicine refining temple, so he could only turn his head to ask. Ashfire realm, this is one of the holy places of the alchemy temple. As the most powerful alchemist force in the immortal realm, the Alchemy Sanctuary has countless holy places. These holy places are full of countless treasures and opportunities. It is the paradise that alchemists dream of. In the Ashfire realm, it is said that there is a drop of the divine source of the soul, and there are countless other precious treasures. Countless alchemists have been unable to break through to the immortal ascension boundary in their entire lives. This shows the preciousness of a drop of the divine source of the soul. Before Zuna could speak, a slim figure strolled away, with a very pleasant voice. Flower Qian. Now it was Zuna's turn to be surprised. She pouted and glanced at Xiao Yang. The source of the soul? Xiao Yang helplessly laughed, and there was a fiery wave in his eyes. The 10 drops of soul divine origin in the mysterious leaves cannot be absorbed at all, because it is only used to record the soul fighting skills. If you can successfully obtain 1 drop, with half-step divine travel now, there is no problem in stepping into the immortal ascension realm. Once he stepped into the immortal ascension realm, Xiao Yang also had the strength and background to reach the peak of the entire Great Thousand World. The ashfire world is extremely shabby, and because of the limitations of time and some rules, you can't stay for a long time. In this assessment, you have a total of 1 month. In January, you don't need to collect medicinal materials, etc. What you need to do is to successfully leave the ashfire realm, and it will be counted as a successful assessment. Those who pass the assessment can directly advance to the finals, otherwise, they will be eliminated. Missed the finals. The Ashfire realm is more like a labyrinth of souls, a place of chance, but it's only for alchemists. The rest needs to be discovered by yourself, a high-level alchemist. Keen judgment and insight it is also essential. This is a rather mysterious ancient land. Whether you can reap the opportunity or be eliminated from the game depends on your strength. At the end of the words, Yarrow Wuchen actually smiled, as if there were words in his words. Tear off. After explaining some related matters of the second level clearly, Yarrow Wuchen raised his calloused palm, surging at will, the void in the square twisted, and somewhere in the void there was an endless abyss quietly approaching. The entrance to the abyss was deep and dark, and even an extremely hot wave filled out, causing many high-level pharmacists present to be in a trance. Some of your actions in the game will be presented in front of many onlookers in the form of time and space crystals. The alchemist competition, regardless of life or death, so you can think about it clearly. If you're ready, let's get started. Just after Yarrow Wuchen finished speaking, the whole world became noisy. Go ahead. Go. Hundreds of alchemists above the square were silent for a moment, and after breathing, they rose into the air and swept directly towards the ashfire realm. The second level of the ashfire realm, I am afraid it will be a real contest. Whether it is the pharmacist's own strength or other strengths, there is no doubt that it is a comprehensive assessment. You don't seem to be in a hurry at all. Seeing that everyone started to act, Hua Qianqian in the distance came over. Aren't you too? Xiao Yan cast an indifferent glance at Hua Qianqian, the Thorns demon boy and a few people, and said with a smile. What an interesting guy. I hope to have a good fight in the ashfire realm. After everyone finished talking, they slowly approached the entrance. This fluctuation. When the conversation just ended, Xiao Yang's eyes flashed, but he saw several men with gloomy faces in the crowd, who were looking at him with rather scary looks. Xiao Yang, in the realm of ashes, let's have a decisive battle. After a few gloomy figures finished speaking, they swept into the realm of ashes and flames at the same time. The strength of those guys is not quite right. Why can't they be found even if they are as arrogant as Yarrow Wuchen? But these guys, after hiding for so long, are they finally going to act? Xiao Yang murmured and nodded. At the same time, the divine artifact, holy flame and other powers in his body emerged together. I am afraid that this time, the ashfire realm will not be easy. Elder Yao. The powerhouse in the center of the immortal realm seems to have lost contact. Trouble the elder Qingfeng to check it out. After all, the assessment of the third pass requires the powerhouses in the center of the fairy world to maintain the energy fluctuations in the realm. Okay. As soon as the voice fell, the entire square became noisy, and countless figures stood quietly in the void, their eyes looking at the crystals invariably. In this trip to the ashes and fire realm, who will be the final winner? Everyone poured into the abyss one after another, heading towards the ashfire realm, but before they fully stepped into that mysterious realm, a desolate and ancient aura slowly wafted out, making many people look directly vigilant. That ancient and desolate aura, even those arrogant alchemists like them, felt heart palpitations. The ancient things have a fatal attraction to them. Once they can obtain the treasures, it can be said to be extremely terrifying for their high-level alchemists to improve, but there is no doubt that the dangers contained in them are also unimaginable by ordinary people. This ash and fire realm is actually an ancient world, which is really surprising, but I just don't know if I can find some ancient things on this trip. In the dark abyss, Xiao Yang looked at the realm that was getting closer, his eyes narrowed slightly, and his heartbeat also accelerated involuntarily. The power of ancient things is mysterious and unpredictable, and it can be passed down from ancient times. The power is naturally self-evident. It is a good method to collect some and use it as a killer or to deal with foreign evil races. After a while, the so-called ashfire realm finally came into the sight of everyone. One after another was slightly hot, gloomy eyes flickered in this world, and the purpose was self-evident. Looking at it, this is a lava world that looks like a huge triangle. There is no complete land in the whole world, some are just strange areas like volcanic basins, and volcanoes of different shapes are large and small. One after another, even the ashes burned by pure flames quietly floated in the air, and a very dangerous aura was continuously transmitted. The entire ashfire realm did not have any vitality or any green aura. The desolation and silence accompanied by a burst of energy fluctuations quietly landed on the edge of a volcanic basin. The visitor was Xiao Yang, who stepped into this place alone. This world is full of mystery. After coming here, Xiao Yang was surprised to find that the half-step terrifying soul power in his body seemed to be suppressed by some power seal for a while. No matter how Xiao Yang resisted, he could not urge him. Move. This so-called second-level assessment is obviously not as simple as everyone thinks. The ashfire realm is really not that simple. The power of our soul is sealed, and there is a drop of the soul source here. The guys in the alchemy temple have a good plan. Xiao Yan glanced around and found that the fire surface was very large and there was no one in sight, but the undulating volcanic basins and the dangerous ashes and dust came into view. Just when Xiao Yang wondered how he could find the source of his soul, and when he left this world and won the second stage, a grain of sand like dust suddenly fell on his skin. A burst of burning pain was transmitted from the skin, which actually caused Xiao Yang's complexion to distort in an instant, and cold sweat broke out directly. Sealing the soul power of the alchemist makes us like humans who have lost their sense of smell, and in this ashfire world, the so-called ash and these volcanoes are probably related, and should not be underestimated. Xiao Yang frowned and looked into the distance, but without the invasion of soul power, just relying on intuition and vision, it was impossible to discover the source of the soul hidden in the fire world and the exit. Let's take a look around first, but the energy here is very violent, and if you absorb it for a long time, you may go crazy because of it. I hope not to encounter any terrifying ancient things, and before leaving, those unidentified strange guys. After thinking for a moment, Xiao Yang swept away the many distracting thoughts in his mind, and started to walk on the ground with good temperature above the twisted lava rocks. Just before taking a few steps, some fiery red flames appeared on the ground. Those flames were mysterious and made Xiao Yang feel quite at a loss. Under Xiao Yang's gaze, those flames quietly distorted the void. Suddenly, a fiery red energy creature appeared out of thin air. At the same time, it burst out of the distorted void. Xiao Yang came after him. Tear it off. Xiao Yang was shocked, and a glass-colored flame instantly emerged, forming a gorgeous flame armor on his body, which was able to resist the attack of the mysterious creature. However, even with Xiao Yang's holy flame fire armor defense, there was even a muffled groan in the attacked area above the fire armor, constantly emitting from the flame armor on his body. Mysterious creature formed by violent energy in the fire world. After a few confrontations, Xiao Yang reached out and grabbed it in his hand, only to see that it was a fiery red energy phantom like a civet cat. Although there is no life, the power contained in it is incredible. It actually reached the level of 8-star fighting immortals. How could this mere 2 or 3 head-sized energy civet cats have such terrifying power? Crack. After a simple test, Xiao Yang directly burned it to pieces, but just before the civet cat's phantom disappeared, a rather faint red light was injected into Xiao Yang's body, causing Xiao Yang's sealed soul realm to appear. An almost negligible touch. The perception of soul power seems to have recovered a little. Could it be because killing the creatures in the ashfire realm, that trace of residual strange power is the key to solving the power of sealing the soul? With Xiao Yang's shrewdness, even the slightest movement could never escape this guy's eyes. Based on the current scene, he immediately noticed this strange thing. When Xiao Yang had such an idea in his heart, he searched for some creatures composed of violent energy in the volcanic basin to kill them. After several times, he finally confirmed his conjecture. To the crater. Xiao Yang moved step by step and walked towards the crater not far from him. Xiao Yang's intuition always felt that the situation in this crater was not quite right. This volcanic crater, which is about tens of meters in size, is red all over, and a scorching heat wave actually made Xiao Yang's chest feel dull. Amazing majestic power. Deeper, there is a pool of dark red lava, spewing out in the narrow volcanic lava. The rumbling sound resounds throughout the whole world, and the terrible fire marks left by the high-temperature burning make people feel uneasy. It seems that there is some tyrannical guy in this ashfire world. If you want to find that precious and extraordinary soul source, I am afraid it will not be easy. But what does this soul source have to do with leaving this fire world? Thinking like this in his heart, Xiao Yang could only shake his head, and then he always paid attention to the situation around him and prepared to move around. In the lava world under the crater, the power is violent, but there is no violent creature, which is extremely strange. Lord Xiao Yu, he ran quite fast. And just as Xiao Yang was about to leave and head towards some huge volcanic craters, a laughter full of evil fluctuations sounded like a demon. In the lava field where Xiao Yang was, a figure swept out strangely and landed in front of Xiao Yang, blocking Xiao Yang's movement, and this guy was looking at Xiao Yang with a look of contempt like looking at his prey. Xiao Yang looked up and found that it was a young man with a slightly pale complexion, and even a twisted mouth at the corners of his mouth. Above his straight and slender body, there seemed to be some appalling and strange fluctuations, and the twisted smile made one feel faint. Xiao Yang stopped and looked at the man in front of him. For some reason, when he saw this guy, his eyes twitched slightly, and his inner uneasiness poured into his heart uncontrollably. The evil man waved his palm, and his body was suddenly filled with a morbid aura of death. His strange eyes suddenly opened, and a terrifying black flame that could easily corrode even the void jumped from his eyes and swept away in an instant. Covered the bodies of the two and cut off contact with the outside world for a while. Elder, how is this good? The conversation between Xiao Yang and the two was covered by a strange figure, although it did not fall into the ears of the outside world. Seeing that the crystal that recorded Xiao Yang's position suddenly lost its picture, some old people in the outside world could not help but feel a little worried. He looked at Yarrow Wuchen. Even if there is a life or death rule, Xiao Yang's identity as the owner of the endless fire domain cannot be underestimated. If something happens here, it will inevitably make some big men who secretly shelter Xiao Yang furious. No problem. Yarrow Wuchen looked at the crystal that fell into the blank screen, shook his head slightly, and didn't think about it in the depths, but when he thought of the great powers of the ghost world and even the demon world behind this guy, he couldn't help but have a headache. After all, those guys are not like the strong people in the human world, and even a 9th-grade pharmacist can't resist. However, with the appearance of this scene, in the ashfire realm, there is an unusually turbulent battle, which starts slowly. It's really a bunch of lingering guys. This volcanic lava area is all wrapped in black flames, as if entering a special isolation that is isolated from the world. Xiao Yang can't help squinting his eyes and looking at the man with a gloomy smile on the opposite side. It doesn't matter, soon, the entire last 3 days will be territory outside our territory. No, it should be the entire Great Thousand World. The evil man stepped on the black flame and began to walk step by step. The evil black flame in his eyes spread, and he stared at Xiao Yang. His heartbroken smile was particularly gloomy and cold. The black flames poured out from the shriveled man's body like a tide, and then swept out overwhelmingly. The eerie chill, and even the violent violence in the ashes and fire world became solidified and calmed down. What a terrifying strength! But why did these figures escape the screening of the Medicine Refining Church and successfully enter the competition of the Medicine Refining Pill Club? Have they found some way to hide it? Glass-colored flame armor emerged from Xiao Yang's body, staring at the evil man with awe-inspiring killing intent in front of him, thinking, "Don't worry, this time, I'm here to collect the corpse for you. Even if you are the master of the holy flame, you will never be able to escape my claws this time." The evil man snorted coldly, and behind him there was a black vortex of light surging rapidly, and the black vortex was filled with an aura of death that Xiao Yang had never seen before. This guy's strength is only the same as mine. Double reincarnation? Seeing the evil man act like this, Xiao Yang was surprised. With the existence of holy flame, he has a natural restraint on the evil races from outside the territory. Even if he encounters a real third-order Xiao Yang, he can face it safely. A second-order reincarnation rank outside the region is a bit strong. I don't know if I should call you a king-level powerhouse outside the territory, or... Xiao Yang's chest began to buzz with a holy flame, and he was obviously ready to start. White King Order, Mingfong, suffer to death. Boom. As soon as the words fell, the black vortex surged, and countless black flames spread out from the void. The majestic energy blasted away at Xiao Yang like a surging tide. The heavenly demon array. Give it to me. Seeing the opponent's terrifying ultimate move, Xiao Yang smiled lightly, raised his palm quietly, and a sacred and mysterious rune turned, unexpectedly releasing a loud bang. The roaring noise seemed to run like one after another hinge, and the appearance of the formation made the countless black flames in this realm humming endlessly, and in a few breaths, they were swallowed up by the power of purification in the magic formation of the heavens. For a time, in the entire lava zone, the black flame was wrapped, and there was even the existence of a magic formation of the heavens, which seemed extremely strange. However, although the power of the all-heaven demon formation displayed by Xiao Yang was quite powerful, those black flames were quite powerful. Once they touched the all-heaven demon formation, the entire formation trembled slightly. Battle Formation Master? What about the Saint Flame Controller? Seeing how easily the attack he unleashed was broken by Xiao Yang, Bai Wang Mingfong took a deep breath, and the robe covering his body was slowly removed by He Yang, revealing a strange scene that shocked Xiao Yang. On the body of Bai Wang Mingfong, whether it is skin or flesh, it is full of a very strange black, and on the black body, there are even evil lines like soul-sucking souls. When he saw those lines, the god-punishing ruler in Xiao Yang's mind became restless again. There is only one explanation that can cause Jushenqi to produce such fluctuations. Extraterrestrial evil race evil ****** rank powerhouse. Obviously, the evil lines on this White King Mingfeng's body are from the handwriting of the evil god-level powerhouse. A normal White King rank must not have the strength of the reincarnation rank. It turns out that this guy's body has been blessed with special power by a powerhouse of the heretic god rank. Seeing those strange lines, Xiao Yang immediately woke up, and his originally calm expression became serious. As far as we know, the strongest among the extraterritorial evil races is the so-called evil god rank, and the strength of Bai Wang Mingfong, who is blessed by the power of the evil god rank, should not be underestimated. Hu ho ho! With a low roar by Wang Mingfeng's body, countless black flames ignited. Under the burning of the black flames, those evil lines seemed to come alive, and a strong sense of depression and suffocation made Xiao Yang's expression was very heavy. Although it is very troublesome, it is not difficult to solve you. Seeing Bai Wang Mingfeng's actions, Xiao Yang grinned. The majestic spiritual power of Ngongwen in his body and the divine movement inscriptions worked together. In the entire heavens and demons, there was a powerful restraint that stifled all evils, slowly come. In the entire special latitude, evil black flames surging, accompanied by a special figure bathed in black lines, seems to be mobilizing some extremely powerful forces. And after the appearance of this scene, the demon formation of the heavens is like a cage that lifts the sky, and it actually completely shrouds the entire special latitude. The fire of the holy flame and the brilliance of the evil black flame slowly clashed, slowly disappearing into the afterglow and disappearing in this latitude, and even the air was filled with an astonishing scalp-tingling dangerous breath. After the formation of the heavens and the devils was in full operation, the flames of light filled with the sacred power of the holy flames fell down like the Milky Way above the 9 heavens, and slowly irrigated the body of the White King Mingfong. The overwhelming air of divine purification constantly purifies and devours the remaining black flames in the formation, but the White King Mingfong is motionless and quiet, as if waiting for something. The evil god's mark. While Xiao Yang was surprised, a terrifying roar resounded through the heavens and the earth, roaring out from the mouth of Bai Wang Mingfong. It was a bloodstone, about the size of a fist, but it was filled with a terrifying touch that scared Xiao Yang. In the bloodstone, there is a faintly evil and strange wave that radiates out. After it appeared, many forces in Xiao Yang's body became quiet for a while, as if suppressed by this powerful aura. Rinse. The next moment, there was a rather crisp rubbing sound on the bloodstone. The bloodstone vibrated slightly, and turned into powerful black shadows that eroded people's hearts. What kind of power is this? On Xiao Yang's forehead, sweat dripped uncontrollably, and even the power of the clan lines, blood, and other powers, vaguely emerged with uncontrollable automatic protection. It seems that with his current strength, he can't resist the evil blow of the White King Mingfong in front of him. This is something of the heretic god. Bloodstone Soul Order. Little guy, I am afraid there will be a big movement outside the territory this time. Why don't we make a small game? Bloodstone was calling for noise, and powerful forces kept coming to suppress Xiao Yang, but a gentle voice sounded from Xiao Yang's mind. Who? Dian Ring? Bearing the brunt of the brunt, Xiao Yang first thought of the ancient aura in the Emperor Yang ring, but after some inspections, there was no result. Don't panic. Although I'm just a spirit body, it shouldn't hurt you. The gentle voice sounded, but Xiao Yang's whole body was shaken violently. You are the spirit of the god killer? After a while, a bold guess emerged in Xiao Yang's heart. That expert is indeed a true craftsman. He was able to completely temper and repair the first part of the god execution ruler, and even wake me up, who will remain in the body of the artifact at the end. Although he died in the end. It's running out of time, boy, are you interested? The spirit of the artifact was muttering. Okay. Everything is according to the elders. Xiao Yang nodded heavily. Your body control is temporarily handed over to me. The voice fell, and a golden light flashed from Xiao Yang's body, and his eyes were suddenly replaced by golden light. Boom. The evil thing completely fell, Xiao Yang's hands dragged the sky, and the majestic holy flame swept out, but there was a lot of difference with the breath just now. As for the all-heaven demon formation on the side, it did not operate at all, as if it had temporarily lost control of its operation. At this time, Xiao Yang tried to use the purest physical strength to fight the strongest blow of the White King Mingfong. What a fool. Fall down. The black flame and the bloodstone waved, and circles of black holes and abyss emerged, twisting the void, and it actually penetrated into Xiao Yang's body little by little. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank slightly, and then his chest rose and fell violently, and a mouthful of bright red blood spurted out, and the blood contained fluctuations belonging to the Xiao clan. Damn, with the protection of holy flames, it is impossible to completely obliterate and control him. Watching Xiao Yang encounter great changes, Bai Wang Mingfong moved to Xiao Yang's side like a cunning rabbit, and sneered at Xiao Yang who was dying. What kind of power is this? Why can I resist or even ignore my holy flame? Xiao Yan covered his chest, looked at by Wang Mingfong with a pale face, and said hesitantly, "The power of the holy flame is powerful, but what I have in my hands is the thing of the heretic god. Isn't it that you can resist mere second tier? Several kinds of holy flames are in your hands. It's really a waste of time. If it wasn't for the order of the heretic god, I would definitely kill you completely today." Bai Wang Mingfong looked at Xiao Yang like this, and immediately took back the bloodstone, and then roared. Bloodstone power, the law of evil. Control. Blood color fluctuations and black flames surging, immediately turned into an unbreakable black shackle, surrounding Xiao Yang's body. Countless roars of grief poured out from Xiao Yang's mouth. Those evil forces were injected into Xiao Yang's body little by little, and all the holy flame aura in Xiao Yang's body disappeared. However, even Xiao Yang and the spirit of the god execution ruler never thought that Mingfong's actions like this would forcefully fill up the devil's Rubik's cube. Obviously, the owner of this heretic god's thing is not simple in strength. Owner. After the rest, Xiao Yang lost all his anger, and a wave of the same evil permeated his body. Let's go, it's time to solve the trouble in the ashfire realm. This time, the entire immortal world will crawl under our feet. Ha ha ha. The black flame only faded away, and a sinister laughter resounded like thunder. Yes, master. At this time, in Xiao Yang's eyes, there was an imperceptible black ripple, and he actually spoke respectfully to the White King Mingfong in front of him. Just after finishing speaking, the two of them quietly withdrew from the special and unique, and headed towards some areas in the ashfire realm. As they left, a strange smile flashed from the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth. But it's strange, it seems that since the battle between the two, the traces of Xiao Yang, by Wang Mingfong and others have not appeared in the outside crystal, as if some tyrannical force interfered. Strange, why can't I see the trace of brother Xiao Yang? The outside world Zuna saw that the record Xiao Yang's crystal had been slightly blank, and immediately became a little worried. Little girl, come here. Just when the latter hesitated, a silent soul voice came, and Zuna quietly left the void. A few minutes later, Zaidu appeared. Strange, why is this Jiu Zuna's breath a little weirder than before he left? Is it an illusion? After Zuna came back, she stood quietly in the void, staring at the crystal mirrors, as if she was lost, but there were many complicated voices in the huge crowd. In addition, in the distant land of Immortal Realm, a man and a woman are surrounded by a lush forest at the top. The man is quite handsome, with a faint domineering aura blooming from his body, and the woman on the side is slightly weak, but upon closer inspection, it is as beautiful and moving as an elf's. Around the two of them, the breath of life continuously poured out from the colorless and transparent lake in front of them, and quietly injected into the two of them. God, you've been looking a little bit wrong recently, what's on your mind? The woman quietly stuck her head out of the man's arms and asked softly. Xiao Yang, it seems that something is wrong. Forget it, let's deal with the 10th Hall Yama first. These guys are probably facing some danger now. Who made me accept the favor of the Xiao clan in the first place? The man's dashing voice is extremely rough and unrestrained, with unquestionable majesty. Well, everything is up to you. But your strength. When the woman heard the words, she was about to gently lean her forehead against the man's arms, listening to the sound of her heartbeat close at hand. The artifact has been restored, the source has been repaired, and life has returned to its original state. Now I should be able to survive the calamity. I really want to see the strongest person who surpassed the heretic god rank among the evil races outside the territory for the first time. The man's majestic voice sounded like a thunderbolt, and suddenly the whole world suddenly had a gust of wind, and countless thunders of divine punishment descended from the sky like a real god's mansion. If you count it carefully, there are actually 7 reincarnations. 7 thunder tribulations, that is the peak of the 7th reincarnation rank. In the realm of ashes. Mingfong, are you? Next to a lava crater, 3 shadows stand together, but 2 of them are aimed at a rather strange guy together. This is Xiao Yang, the owner of the Endless Fire territory, and the chief officer designated by Lord Heretic God to be arrested. It's now in my hands. Mingfong sneered, his voice filled with a rare pride and disdain. It's that guy. But the dignified Endless Fire territory lord, according to legend, has many holy flames and endless killers in his body. How can he be subdued by you? 2 of the 3 glanced at Xiao Yang, and then shook their heads with extremely solemn eyes. With the things of the heretic god, it is naturally extremely easy to tame this guy. Mingfong had a look of joy on his face, and looked at Xiao Yang who was quietly waiting behind him, with an indescribable joy in his heart. This descendant of the Xiao clan, who once stifled several foreign evil clans, is now his own prisoner, which is really heartwarming. Once you have won the championship of the Alchemy Pill Society, you will compare the alchemists who are proud of these immortal worlds, and then the real disaster will be completely opened. Watching these guys with foul-smelling souls show their fearful expressions, it will be more meaningful. I'm afraid there is something strange about this. In order to ensure that the adults' plans are foolproof, let me check it out. Among the three, the only female Black Shadow kept shaking her head and staring at Xiao Yang, and only spoke after a long time. Shu Mo, you don't believe this king. Is there any doubt that this king has something of an evil ***** in his body? What's more, don't make a mistake about the current situation. The two of you are the evil gods who have pointed out that you will assist me in participating in the medicine pill meeting. Hearing Shu Mo's voice, the corner of Mingfeng's mouth twitched. It turned out to be a low roar, and a wave of anger and killing intent spread out. Mingfong, although the Black Shadow Shu Mo narrowed his eyes and suddenly wanted to speak, but was stopped by a mysterious-looking man beside him. No more. Since this is the case, let's go through the second test first. After the shadowy man reached out to stop Shu Mo, he spoke quietly, but he was obviously worried. The Black Shadow Man is named by Wang Yuan, and he has the appearance of a dog-headed military strategist. The White King Shu Mo, a woman with a delicate mind, is obviously in charge of the overall situation. In addition to the White King Mingfong, the three are of the extraterritorial evil clan king rank, and because of the blessing of the evil god's power, their strength is almost spread around the second reincarnation rank. Boom. Just after the three people's conversation was finished, there was a sudden humming thunder sound in this ashfire world, roaring like a mad beast. Go. The three figures flickered, and they were facing the core of the ashfire realm. As for Xiao Yang, they looked absent-minded and followed behind them. Senior, I'll see you next. Xiao Yang's spiritual sense hidden in the sea of fighting qi quietly spoke out. If this trip to the immortal world is a situation of destruction, will you try to change it? Or maybe you have the courage to stand up. In the Fairyland, there are several old acquaintances of yours. During the movement, the spirit of the artifact and Xiao Yang communicated quietly. Endgame. Acquaintance. Xiao Yang's spiritual sense was slightly dizzy, and it was obvious that he had words that were difficult to understand. You just need to say save or not. The spirit of the divine artifact obviously knows a lot of things, but it makes a false statement. Save. Xiao Yang whispered. Okay. The spirit of the divine artifact said something with a little appreciation, and Xiao Yang's body suddenly became quiet, and followed the three evil figures, and went towards the core of the ashfire realm. Boom. At the moment when everyone moved, a dark red light rising from the ground rose into the sky. Under the gaze of many alchemists, they rushed to the sky of the ashfire realm, and with the movement of this dark red flame, the entire void collapsed slightly, making some extremely harsh roaring sound. In an instant, a gigantic whirlpool that was almost 1,000 feet in size slowly emerged from the sky. In the vortex, countless colorless, silver, and sand-like ashes fell down, setting off the entire void in an extremely strange, terrifying sound wave that shook people's hearts. Someone unlocked soul perception? Actually woke up the guardian beast. There is the core of the entire ashfire realm. Go. Come on. With the emergence of that strange sound wave, in the entire fire world, countless fiery gazes were projected towards the core. Ancient behemoth, spirit-eyed mysterious chicken. The hoarse voice slowly came from the mouths of some alchemists of the same rank and weak strength. That powerful pressure almost made it difficult for the alchemists under the strength of samsara to move. Looking up, in the vortex filled with countless dark red and strange flames, the space is distorted, and the gloomy shackles composed of dark red flames slowly emerge. Those dark red flame shackles seem to be restraining and suppressing a rather ancient creature. Everyone's eyes slowly followed the flame vortex to the deeper twisted void. There, a dark red liquid slowly emerged, and with the gushing out of these forces, a black shadow of hundreds of meters was firmly bound by the dark red flame shackle. Spiritual Ai Shen Chicken? An ancient behemoth that is said to be able to control the souls of others? But isn't this ancient creature already extinct? Wait, look at the head of that ancient behemoth. The source of the soul. With the appearance of this scene, some alchemists with extremely keen insight spoke one after another, and their voices were filled with a look of ecstasy. A drop of the divine source of soul is enough to give them the powerhouses who have stayed in the Yuanyuan realm for a long time to have the opportunity to step into the immortal ascension realm. Rush. Whatever you say is to get the source of the soul. Even if they knew that the dark red vortex was extremely dangerous, But after a short period of weighing, dozens of people rushed in one after another. More and more figures began to gather, and they surrounded the edge of the flame vortex, but no one took the first step. At this moment, four rather evil shadows emerged from the molten world in the distance. That's Xiao Yan. Hua Changqiandai, who had been staying here for a long time, wrinkled her eyes. Why is Xiao Yang with these three guys? There seems to be something wrong with his look and condition. The thorn demon boy in the distance was slightly moved, and a rare palpitation filled the air. Humph, since I know someone, I will give you a great gift. The four people headed by Mingfong lightly glanced at the ancient giant beast in the vortex of flames and dozens of people around Point Zero. Listening to Mingfong's words, Hua Changqian and the others felt a little tight in their hearts, as if they had some kind of bad premonition. Go. You entangle them for me. Mingfong directed Xiao Yang, and Xiao Yang, who had always been quiet, suddenly became hot and bloodthirsty. An extremely terrifying evil wave slowly burst out from his eyes, and then the invisible evil wave stared at Thorn Devil Boy and Hua Changqian like a chain. The two looked puzzled, but being watched by Xiao Yang, who was temporarily using evil, the whole body trembled uncontrollably, and even an indescribable depression swept through their heart. This video will end here.